Is the server down?
Yep, server's down.
So this is a complete. What is this called? Rack?
Yeah. These are called the rails that the rack sits on. Here's the internal parts. So what we're going to do here,
what is this card for that you are pulling?
this is the RAID controller. By pulling it makes it easier for me to get this off.
Okay, so every rack has a processor. Every
What's
rack
that?
is a kind of individual machine.
Yes.
It doesn't have any processor.
Nope, we're putting one in
So how the machine was on?
with one processor.
Okay, so this. So now it will be having two processors.
That's correct. So, and when you're working with small fins like this, you'll see that one side doesn't have any fins. This side does. So what you're going to want to do is the flow of air goes this way. So you're going to want to lay it the same exact way. I mean, you could do it this way, but as you can see, it doesn't fit. It fits, but it's not right.
Okay, so the purpose is the air should flow between the.
Between the fins, correct.
Right.
You always start from one corner, then you always work on the other corner. So you apply equal pressure. Don't tighten it all the way down, then you work on the next corner. And you work on this corner. Once you got that, then you go back and you tighten. And there you go.
Alright, so before we proceed further, can you just tell me what these components are on this machine?
Well, we'll start from front to back.
Okay.
CD-ROM drive. You got your mainboard PC controller, which handles the LCD, the power button, the video, the USBs, which then are interconnected to the motherboard. You got over
so
here.
Every rack can have its own what do you call it? Video controller.
You mean
on
every
monitor?
server? Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have a video controller. Then over here you have your power housing. You have your two fans for that. Here's your two 12
Okay,
volt.
these are fans.
Yes. These are considered hot swapping fans. So literally, during a machine meltdown,
Kind of blowers. Or these are
You
real
can take
fans?
them apart.
Oh, okay, got it.
and they're actually double finned on both sides. They're two independent fans connected as one. So that creates more of a vortex wind tunnel.
Okay, this is something similar that you were trying to create. That
Yes. So these are not considered hot swapping, so you would actually have to power the machine down.
Hot swapping is like
The
keeping
machine's
the machine on and you.
Yep, you can just pull a fan out and put a new one in.
So
No,
it's
with
not
these,
advisable or it's not permissible.
Not for these ones, because
Right.
one, they're not. You have to literally pull the tab to pull them out.
Okay.
Hot swap means that you can just lift it out, and the whole unit comes out, and you stick another one and continue working.
Okay.
So then you got your two power supplies. You got your two your regulators for your power supplies.
Okay.
All right, then you got, this is your power supply board. So that as you can see, then all the wiring jumps over to this, onto the motherboard, just like any other household motherboard. I'm not going to take it off. Then you got your cooling fans for your CPUs. You got two sets of memory banks, because one memory bank's for one processor, the other
Okay.
one's for the other. You got your PCI board, which this is actually PCI 16X.
And how much of the RAM is there?
This one is 2 gigs.
2 gigs each.
Yep.
4
Now
gigs.
my problem is that we only got
4 gigs is sufficient for a server.
well less than that actually. You can run the server off of 2 gigs. Down to a gig, Linux can run off of 4 megs. So our problem is we got 3 RAMs sticks for a real for any kind of dual channel. We need 4. So we're using 2. The rest is going to have to be made up into 2 gig RAM strips. Now, will this configuration work? I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay. So RAMs has to be in multiple of 2.
For dual channel, yes, or triple channel. And you never start with black. Black is considered 4.
Yep.
So in this layout, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It should be written somewhere, right? DIM 1, DIM 2, DIM 3.
Yep. So 2 to 2. So that's dual channel for 1 CPU. So that's 16 gigs of RAM right there. Those are 8 gig strips.
Are you sure they should be together?
Yes, they should be together.
Alright. Because on my motherboard it's alternate.
Right, that's your motherboard. So here, like I said, we're going to try this configuration. We're going to do 16 here. We're going to fill this bank up. Because we need at least 24 gigs.
Okay, how about testing this
No, we
first?
can't.
No?
Because we got 2 processors.
Okay. So is it like this RAM would work with this processor and this RAM would work
Yes,
with this
exactly.
processor? Okay.
So what we're going to do here is first we're just going to do dual channel for both.
And this is 2 gigs each?
Yep. So we got a total of 20 gigs right now. Now we're going to test this theory, make sure it works, and if so, we're going to power it back down. And put more RAM in it to equal the 24 gigs. This is the RAID controller, as I was saying earlier.
What's the use of RAID controllers?
It manages the hard drives.
So what if the RAID controller is not there? The hard disks are not managed?
Exactly, and you can't use them.
So every computer has a RAID controller?
Every server that we have has a RAID controller.
Not every computer, right?
No. Some use onboard.
Oh.
Alright, so let's test this theory out.
Okay, when you say some use on board, that means every computer has a RAID controller, but it's
No,
built on the
No.
board? No?
no, you'll, like here. Here's your SATA ports. That's it. It's not a RAID device.
Okay. Oh, got it.
So before you ever power on any PC, you always put the case on so that it can create the wind tunnel inside the machine to keep it cool. If not, it's not going to work all that well. And you'll risk overheating. So we put the power back in, we watch the screen, and we power it on.
How did you power it on?
Just by the power button. Normally it takes a few minutes for it to come online.
The sound was normal?
Yep. Configuring memory. This is where we're going to find out if it's compatible or not. Because like I said, we have an imbalance of RAM. One CPU has 16 gigs, the other has 4. And if that's the case, then we'll fill up the other side if it's still good. So far it has not complained. And we'll verify that the RAM has been configured properly and didn't throw us an error. It'll tell us after this part. 'Cause right now it's testing the RAM. And good news.
Not a good news. Dim
No,
configuration
unsupported.
should
Yep. It'll run.
but it will not utilize the other processor.
No, it utilizes it. It's just saying that there's an imbalance of RAM.
Okay.
So in other words, one
a
side.
warning.
Yeah, it's a warning. In this case, it's fine. So what we'll do is we'll fill it up to 24 gigs. So one side will have 8 gigs, one side will have 16.
This what
You pulled on the power plug.
Yep. Always pull the power.
And why always you always remove that RAID card? What do you call
Just
it?
to make
RAID
it
card?
easier. Because one, when this sits here, alright, we have the RAID controller there. Let's just,
Okay, that's RAID controller.
yeah, so as it's, no. So as it sits there and you're trying to go like this and
Okay,
you're
got it.
trying to work with it, so it's just, so you don't break any components and you don't cause any harm to the system or create more havoc for yourself, just remove it and see how much easier that is. So like I said, we're gonna have an imbalance of RAM, but to equal 24 gigs, since our systems sit at roughly 16 gigs utilized.
So these are two. Now we have 8 gig of RAM.
8 gig and 16, so that's 24 gigs.
Okay, and both the processor are of similar type or
They
similar
have to be.
configuration.
That's the only thing that has to match. Each processor has to be the same. So this is a 5520, 5520.
And do we have to do some kind of load sharing between the processors, or it done on its own?
It does it on its own. It's called multi-threading.
What it is called?
It's called multi-threading.
I still could not understand that.
Multi-threading.
Multi-threading. Okay. Actually, multi-threading is one processor doing several processes at one point of time. This is multi-threading.
No, multi-threading is multiple CPUs threading
No.
across. Yes.
No.
Multi-threading.
Multi-threading is
No. One process using multiple CPUs. That's multi-threading. One process.
having
multiple
several
CPUs.
processes is multi-threading. Not the
No, it can,
processors.
well, it can be, but
Okay.
multi-threading is one single process across multiple CPUs. Look
Maybe
it
I
up.
need to. Yeah.
Because not all applications is multi-threading supported. In other words, it would only use single core.
Because I remember I was using single core, and I was
That's
developing.
multitasking.
No, and I was doing Java programming, and we used to do multi-threading with a single core processor.
That's multitasking.
No,
Well,
maybe we can read rather than
maybe we're talking about the same exact thing but different terminology.
maybe.
So now we're taking the hard drives out.
What's the point?
To put bigger ones in.
Okay. So there we can put 4 hard disks.
Yep.
How do we like? Is there a way, specific way to put the hard disk?
Just top. And what we'll do is once we get them in there, we'll pop the little handle. Like that. Like that. Like that.
Let me do one.
Sure.
Okay. Where's the button?
Right there.
This.
Yep.
Okay. And you press it,
Press it harder. There you go.
and
Close.
okay.
Voila.
Okay, what is that LCD? What is the display?
Right now it's saying C-Linux. It's a multi-usable LCD.
So we have named every rack. Is that it?
What?
All these racks are named.
Servers. This is the rack.
Okay,
This is the
okay,
rack.
got it.
Okay. These are
These are
servers
servers,
racked.
Okay.
The servers are racked in the
Okay,
rack.
got it. So I was using wrong term.
That's okay.
So all these servers, they are named.
Yes.
They have a specific name, and that name is reflected on that LCD.
Some of them are. NS1, Demo 1, D3, Demo 4, Lamp 3. I try to keep it all the same. See, this is showing events, error logs and events right now.
Okay.
I got to clear out.
So we have a separate server for event log.
No. That's what we're going to be building next.
So
The only one that's not, this one right here, backup is not defined.
okay.
See, it says undefined host. But anyways, I got to make sure I catch this or we won't be able to figure the drives. So now we're going to build the drives. And we're going to use, you know what RAID we're going to use? RAID 10.